Hi guys, it's Dan Fabit Novus. I guess this is now a developer blog. Got a lot of wonderful comments on the videos I put up last night, and also some suggestions, comments, critiques, and other things like that. Let me kind of show you where we're at. I put the things I put in the demo are the stuff that I can guarantee are secure and working right and all that. A couple other things we've been working on. I'll show you some of the difference. Yep, okay. Same old. Here's this guy. You know about the markers. You know about the settlements. Settlements, though, something we did add. We're having a little bit of trouble last night with the meshes. That's why I didn't include it. But we also have 2D placement for objects or tokens or art things. You can also upload those if you want to. They're a little finicky. They're not that bad, but they're just a little bit on the annoying side. Again, settlements. Let's throw a marker 2 down here because those are cool. Also, just adjust some size of the markers. Okay, so we got markers and everything else. In the full version, you actually can do roads. We did have a problem. See how that clip there? I was able to fix that this morning. Also, big performance issues on roads. I don't like the textures. I need to add something. I tried to add an alpha into the textures I uploaded. That was not a good idea. Totally messes with performance, so I'm just going to do bars. There is the... Yep. Looks like we still have a issue with that one. Don't delete map. We like the map. I'm going to get rid of that border. See how it's clipping right there? I need to do the same fix that I put in with the... That's fine. That's fine. Assets. I'll get back to that. We also have lighting system coming in. Then I'll go into the collaborate. Allows you to add any 3D file into this. Right now, again, I love the GLB files because the mesh, textures, placement, UVs are all packed into one. And it's really kind of hard to mess up. So I'm going to add this guy here. Are we done with that? Yeah, I think we're... again, this is something I made in Unreal. The assets lets you upload it. You set the what type of GLB it is, and then you can actually move things in here. You could use this probably as... Let's go ahead and we're going to edit this. So dungeon, really easy to load. You could be like, hey, I'm out on a map and we're exploring and this is where we're at. Oh no, there's a dungeon. Let's go into the dungeon and, you know, do stuff. So pretty easy to do. We found that worked on accident. That was fun. Something else you can do. Let's say you don't want something giant like that kicking around. You can actually go into the worlds. You can load a GLB map up in the world. Let's go back to this guy. Open this guy again. Then you can have a right proper dungeon with all the controls and everything else inside of it. And you can add stuff and like, I don't know, you know, maybe a marker here. That's great. Yay, there's a marker in the dungeon. So that's a feature we're working on. Well, it's up and ready. It just needs to be refined. This next feature, you know, let me show you these first. Notes, they're great. They work well. Something that is not in the notes in a file system. We have a lot bigger file system, and one of the things that we are trying to do is we are going to be able to create documentation that exports your... We're trying to do this. This is kind of on the back burner, but basically makes PDFs for you that you can hand out to players, locations, how big cities are, what's there. That's kind of a little far away. Maybe should do a roadmap or something. I don't know. We'll get to this. Okay, let's go to the thing I'm really excited about. And what this is a way you can communicate between... If someone has one app on their computer, you can communicate with them. It's right over here. Basically, the collaborate feature. What this is going to do is it's going to encrypt a collaboration key. And let me actually show you. All right, here they are side to side. So once we have that done, we are going to choose our roles. I'm going to choose, our GM's going to choose the host, and this guy's going to choose to join the session, start session, join session. And right now, this code, we're going to copy this. It generates a gigantic code. Then that code is put into another encryption. You basically message or Discord or whoever you want to join. That goes there. They generate a response code. Again, encrypted. Copy that code. And here's the response that goes into our host, and we hit connect. And now we are connected. I can see that I am the host, and I have a distracted cell phone user on connected to everything. Here we go. Let's say I'm going to import my 3D map. Where's my 3D map? Let's say this is my 3D map right here. I'm going to do that. And the second that's in place, you'll notice over on the guest side, or they are going to, it shows that the GM is sending them a map. It loads the map, and we can say, no, I don't want that, or yes, I do want that. And if I'm moving it here, yay, it moves the map. Or if I'm a player and I want to just see my own crap, there it is. Now, something I can do as the user, I can ping stuff around. Bing, bing. And if I am the host, I can do the same thing. Bing, knock it off, etc., so forth. I also can push notes. Down here has all the things I can do as the host. We're trying to make this a little neater. We also have an activity button that shows exactly what's going on. We can also force a view change. Let's go ahead and start adding some markers to this. You notice I have everything that my host is on here. Now I can choose if I want to say, hey, look, dude, I want these nifty 2D sprites you made that you didn't publish with the demo all over here. All right, let's say I'm here and I'm like, hey, I'm being annoying. And your GM's like, hey, knock that crap off. We can edit the locking. Okay. Something else we found we can do is, I'm going to show this to you already, but I'm going to do it here anyway. So files, we are going to load a GLB into this. We're going to call it set. We're going to put it in. Oh, look, here it is. And then our little buddy here, we're going to load that map. And we're going to go to host view. And we now are in our dungeon, and there, again, we got some work to do here, but it's working, it's feature, we just need to optimize the crap out of it. Okay, that's first thing we have. Let's move on. All right, okay, so someone in the comments mentioned that this program's, because it's not a 3D map, it's kind of pointless, and I was like, yeah, I agree with that. I can definitely do that. Joke's on them, I actually have this already done. So here we go. This is our height map creator. Now, this add-on is not ready to go yet. It's a program running in a program, and it has, well, we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our own height map. To do that, we choose our canvas size. That's great. We're going to do that. We're going to give it a name. And this is going to pull up a way that we can paint our own height map. First thing it pulls up is what we call, it separates the land and the oceans. So we are going to draw the land we want. Yes, brush options. I'm going to do this real quick. Now that lock button is going to do a couple things. First of all, it's going to convert this map into a 32-bit colored PNG, and also in the background, it's going to convert something into a 32-bit grayscale PNG. What we're doing here is we are going to be pretty much painting our height map on with colors and then switching back and forth. Now that we have everything locked down, it's only going to allow us to paint in these certain areas. So let's go ahead and we're going to make the coastline. To do that, let's go ahead, and we do have some brushes already burnt in the system. These can be pretty big, but so we're going to make a repository that it just loads and then unloads it, so it's not, giant gigabytes. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's just go ahead and paint. So we're going to go with our coastline. Let's actually go with a different brush there. There we go. There's our big round brush. So we've just painted our coastline, and we have a little button here that switches back and forth. See, it's a height map. Now it's a color map. We're going to stay in the color map from now on just to get things done. Let's go ahead and choose some of these alphas because we're working in a 32-bit PNG color and also 32-bit grayscale. We can do some neat things. Mainly, we can start creating our own little height map here. I'm just going to plug away at this real quick. So we have our color map, we have our height map. Oh, cool. Let's go ahead and save those. Okay, we're going to save our color map and we're going to save our height map. Now we have a bunch of functions up here. I'm not going to get into them, but they're going to do some stuff that's pretty impressive. We'll get back to that later. Let's go to the next add-on. All right, guys, here we are at our next add-on. This is called the GLB Forge. This is actually software that is running natively inside the Endless Expanse software. So this is awesome. This is almost ready to go. There's some UI stuff, make it look nice. This one's kind of complex, so I'm going to kind of power through this as fast as I can. Okay, this Forge. There's our mod list or feature list. We hit Forge. We're going to name this, I don't know, Bob, because I can. And if you notice over here on the left, there's a little button saying import height map. So let's go ahead and find where we put those height maps. I think I know where they are. All right, here is the height map we just made. Let's go ahead and put that height map in. And boom, you guys can actually kind of see the height map there. Again, the lighting in this needs to be tweaked, so it looks good. Let's go ahead and import our color map we've made as well. Leave it as that guy. That is not the right one. That's okay. That's why we have software. I believe that's it. There we go. Okay, see? Kind of cool. We have made a height map. We've made a color map. We'll improve things that make this a lot nicer to look at instead of just kind of that kind of stuff. But it's made by hand by a human, no generated stuff. Okay, what this add-on does, real quick, it lets us dictate the quality of the mesh that we make. Also gives us a warning if it's going to be really big, and we don't want that. Also, we can adjust with these default buttons, the height, displacement, and we also have a really cool button right here. How this works is we have technically two height maps working. We have a height map that's being displayed that is modified by our quality slider, but there's another height map which is the 32-bit grayscale height map in the background. All the data is there. And what we're going to do with that data is we're going to use that to fool the lighting system to make this look a lot more detailed. Basically, we take the data from the really complex height map. We create something called a normal map and a displacement map, and we just add that to this map. So let's. I want to make this really easy, so we just made a button. There you go. So we now have details there. That's fine. Great. Wonderful. So yeah, and then we can just export this and we're done. Now I'm gonna load a different map right now as an example, a little better example. This is one I did by hand. Let's go back into the Forge, begin project, and let's go ahead and import. I'm going to fast forward this as I import a really big map into this, one of my big ones. All right, we are going to do this map. It's one of my older and big ones. Let's go ahead and throw in this really big height map. There it is, like there. We can kind of see it. We can also go to wireframe and see the mesh. Let's crank this sucker to high. Really dense mesh, looks good. I'm happy with that. However, this is a little too big. We want this low so we can send maps back and forth to our friends using the chat function. So let's go ahead and load a color map onto this. Now, your color map is going to greatly affect the size of the file. You want it small. We have a small one right here that I made a few, but it's going to get the job done. It's not as best as I want, but for this example, it's going to work. Okay, so we have now created a pretty big map here. Let's go ahead and create details. There's our details, and then let us go into low. We hit the low mesh after we created the details. And we have map this 4 meg that we have all the baked-in details and happiness like that. Okay, and other things about this mod. Let's say I want to get pedantic, and I want to have total control over the resolution. Something I can do is, I can make this like 200, real big, like 200 meg to a gig. But we're not going to do that because that's scary. We can choose, we have fine control over our displacement as such. Let's make this a little strong. Let's make this, I'm not going to put any smoothing on this. Displacement, you guys can see it's really spiky. That's why we have that smoothing button. Let's go ahead and smooth it out. Here are the details back. Other things we can do in here, that normal map, we can choose the size of it. We don't want a big normal map. Well, depending on the detail we want, we can make a normal map that's like this guy. That's, kind of fuzzy, but really shows shadows. We can make a normal map that's this size. We're going to go with that one. We also have the ability to change the direction of the normal map if we so want to. So yeah, you can do all that stuff. That's fun. Also, if let's say we don't like these peaks, we can soften them. And we can also despike them if we really want to. So let's go ahead and add the normal again. So yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Now, let's go to something. I'm going to increase the size of this. No, we're already there. Sometimes normal maps, you get forbidden things like this river running uphill. So we added another feature into this. Let's go ahead and minimize our advanced features. And we have something called sculpt mode. This is really kind of simple. It's in development. We have ideas, but this basically is a mesh editor. So we got this thing here. Okay, and if you notice that brush, I can adjust and modify the height map, and it will push it down. Let's say we don't like this river here, or like this river. We want to make it a lot smaller so it doesn't run uphill, and we can do that. And as we do that, you'll notice that this is actually affecting, here, let's bring that up a little bit. This is affecting the mesh and how we are interacting with the mesh. It does have a safety. There is a 0 associated with it. It can't go any farther than 0. That way if you mess up. But yeah, it's already looking great. We can do that with the rivers too. And once we're done with that, we are going to click on our disable sculpt mode, and it's in real time. It's there. It's happy. So next thing we can do is, again, we can create the details, and then we can hit low, and we are going to bake those. We're at low. We update the details, and we have a flat map. Everything looks good, and the river police don't come and annoy me. Okay, next thing, final thing. This is what I love. This is something we worked on. We just got it finished and working. This is what we call a adaptive map. Okay, and I just turned it on. And what this does, if we look at the wireframe of this map, we see there's our contours, but all the geometry is the same. We've got a lot of flat areas that have way too much geometry. That's wasting our time. We don't like that. So let's go ahead and fix that. For this demonstration, I am going to, let's go to medium. And that's not bad. And what we can do here with this adaptive mesh is we can choose where we reduce the amount of polygons. It's called decimation, but however, we control the decimation and where it's located. In this case, we have some levels. We have like an ocean, sea level, hill, mountain, stuff like that. I'm just going to increase the size of these so it's a little more apparent where I'm working. But these little buttons all dictate. Okay, see, things got a little bit bigger. Okay, we're going to use that so I can show you exactly what's going on. Let's go ahead and right now I haven't chosen any of these, but I will now. So let's go ahead and decimate the ocean. Boom, ocean's now decimated. Notice it affects everything else. However, since sea level, hills, and mountains are still on level 5, they are not decimated either. So they're still super detailed, stuff like that. You can control these and make them bigger or smaller, stuff like that. You can see the difference there. Not that much difference in the peaks due to some height things. Okay, so active decimation, real time. And yeah, that's fun. Okay, once we're done with this, let's go back here. We can directly export this into our file system and use it in the app. And it's only 5 meg, but it's taking a lot of detail. Oh, wait, we need detail. Sorry about that. There we go. It has a lot of details. It looks good. Okay, that's the features. Thank you and have a great day.